The great lie of the modern age is that wealth is a linear result of sweat. You've been taught that if you aren't grinding, you aren't earning. That rest is for the weak. That prosperity belongs to those who sacrifice sleep, health, and sanity on the altar of productivity. But what if I told you that this entire paradigm is precisely backward? What if frantic effort is not the frequency of wealth, but the frequency of desperation? What if, in the quantum field, your exhaustion is actually broadcasting lack to every opportunity in your vicinity? Today, I will show you why your exhaustion is the very thing keeping you poor, and how intentional rest is the ultimate wealth multiplier. I am Elias Voss, and today, we aren't just talking about money, we are deconstructing the energetic architecture of your reality. We are exploring what I call the quantum law of rest, the counterintuitive principle that governs how wealth moves toward or away from you based on your energetic state. I will explain why moving into receiving mode requires you to stop chasing and start vibrating at the frequency of abundance. Because here's the truth they'll never teach you in business school: wealth doesn't come to those who chase. It comes to those who are ready to host it. The question isn't how hard you can work. The question is, how aligned can you become? Let me explain this through a principle you already understand: harmonic resonance. Imagine you're tuning a radio. When you move the dial frantically, left, right, searching, desperate, what do you get? Static, noise, interference. The signal is there, broadcasting constantly, but your receiver is moving too quickly to lock onto the frequency. But when you stop, when you become still, the dial locks onto the frequency. Suddenly, the music becomes crystal clear. The signal was always there. Your frantic movement was the interference. This is not metaphor. This is quantum mechanics applied to consciousness. In the stressed state, what neuroscience calls the sympathetic nervous system dominance, your brain operates at beta frequency. High frequency, low amplitude wave. This is survival mode. In this state, your perceptual apparatus narrows. Your RES, the quantum filter we discussed previously, is programmed to detect threats, not treasures. You are broadcasting danger on a biological level, and the quantum field responds accordingly. A stressed mind is a closed system. It's a fortress designed to protect, not receive. You become kinetic force, all output, no input. You're pushing energy outward constantly, forcing, striving, grinding. And according to the law of energetic reciprocity, what you push, pushes back. You create quantum drag, resistance at the field level. Opportunities sense your frequency of desperation and avoid you like repelling magnets. But a rested mind? A rested mind is an open system. It's a quantum antenna. When you enter the parasympathetic state, true rest, not just collapse, your brain shifts to alpha and theta frequencies. Low frequency, high amplitude wave. This is the state of reception. Your biology literally reorganizes. The RES recalibrates. Suddenly, you're not repelling opportunities, you're magnetizing them. Think of potential energy versus kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is movement, obvious, visible, celebrated. But potential energy? Potential energy is the boulder at the top of the hill, the drawn bow, the coiled spring. It's not moving, but it contains maximum power. Rest is potential energy. It's not passive weakness. It's concentrated power in the state of readiness. When you rest with intention, you are drawing the bow. You are concentrating energy, not dissipating it. You are creating the conditions for quantum leaps, discontinuous jumps in value that appear to defy linear cause and effect. And here's what the exhaustion cult will never tell you. The biggest insights, the million-dollar ideas, the so-called lucky breaks, they don't happen during the grind. They happen during rest. Because in alpha and theta states, the conscious mind steps aside, and the subconscious, which processes 11 million bits of information per second compared to the conscious mind's 40, takes over. Solutions that were invisible during forced effort become obvious during intentional rest. This is not laziness. This is sophisticated, energetic strategy. Let me show you what happens during intentional rest. When you consciously remove yourself from the kinetic state and enter true parasympathetic calibration, a profound reorganization occurs. First, temporal perception shift. You exit linear time, the tyranny of the clock, and enter what I call quantum time. In this state, 10 minutes can contain more value than 10 hours of forced productivity. Because you're no longer operating in the realm of hours traded for dollars. You've entered the realm of insight, alignment, and energetic recalibration. Second, the quantum filter, your RES, which we explored in depth previously, begins its recalibration sequence. During stress, this filter becomes clogged with survival priorities, threat detection, problem scanning, scarcity confirmation. But during intentional rest, the subconscious runs a system-wide reorganization protocol. It deletes outdated threat parameters. It updates wealth detection sensitivity. It realigns your perceptual priorities from survive to thrive. Third, you access the Alpha-Theta bridge state, the neurological sweet spot where the conscious and subconscious minds communicate directly. This is the state where Thomas Edison received his inventions, where Einstein visualized relativity, where every major paradigm shift in human history was first perceived. Not during effort, during rest. While your conscious mind rests, your quantum processor, the subconscious, continues running advanced pattern recognition at a level that would make any AI envious. It's cross-referencing your entire experiential database, identifying opportunities your conscious mind missed, calculating optimal pathways you couldn't see through the fog of exhaustion. Rest isn't downtime. Rest is when the real work happens. This is the recalibration the exhaustion economy doesn't want you to discover. Because a rested, aligned individual is ungovernable. You cannot be manipulated by false urgency. You cannot be enslaved by artificial scarcity. You see through the game. And here's the pattern the data actually shows. The correlation between hours worked and wealth created is not linear, it's inverse above a certain threshold. After approximately 20 to 25 hours of truly aligned, rested work per week, additional effort creates diminishing returns. The exhausted mind makes poor decisions. Desperate energy attracts desperate opportunities. But the rested mind? The rested mind sees what others miss and moves with precision instead of panic. Let's address the fundamental confusion, the difference between effort and aligned action. Effort is force. Effort is pushing the boulder up the mountain through sheer kinetic expenditure. It's the glorified martyrdom of the exhaustion cult, the belief that suffering equals worthiness, that pain equals progress. Aligned action is flow. It's surfing the wave. You're still engaged, still focused, still moving, but you're harnessing forces far greater than your individual capacity. You're not generating all the energy from personal depletion. You're tapping into currents that already exist and riding them with precision. With pure effort, you expend 100% of your energy for fractional returns. You're trading your biological reserves directly for outcomes, and the exchange rate is terrible. Worse, you're accumulating energetic debt, stress, cortisol, adrenal fatigue, decision depletion. The compound interest runs against you. With aligned action from a rested state, you invest 20% of your energy and leverage 80% from external currents, market timing, network effects, collective momentum, quantum field coherence. Your returns are exponential, not linear. And because you're working from rest, from overflow instead of depletion, you recover immediately. There's no energetic debt. You operate sustainably at a level that would destroy someone running on forced effort. This is the principle of quantum leverage. 1 hour of aligned action from a rested state, with your filter calibrated, your frequency clear, your timing impeccable, is worth more than 100 hours of grinding from depletion, because you're not just working harder, you're working from a different dimension of effectiveness entirely. Nature demonstrates this principle everywhere. Growth happens during rest. Your muscles don't grow during the workout, they grow during recovery. Seeds don't sprout from constant stimulation, they require dark, restful germination. The forest doesn't produce from stress, it produces from seasonal cycles that include dormancy. Yet somehow, we've convinced ourselves that we're exempt from these fundamental laws. The exhaustion economy has programmed you to feel guilty during rest, to feel that if you're not visibly struggling, you're not worthy of reward. This programming serves someone, but it isn't you. The cult of exhaustion benefits only those who profit from your depletion. They need you tired. Tired people don't think clearly, don't negotiate effectively, don't recognize their leverage, don't see opportunities, and don't leave exploitative systems. Your exhaustion is someone else's economic strategy. But a rested mind? A rested mind is dangerous to false systems. You see through manipulative urgency. You recognize genuine opportunity from manufactured scarcity. You negotiate from abundance, not desperation. You build from vision, not survival. And that's exactly why rest is revolutionary. So here we are at the crossroads. You can return to the grind. You can wear your exhaustion as a badge of honor. You can continue broadcasting desperation while wondering why abundance evades you. Or you can make a different choice. You can go home, turn off the noise, silence the notifications, dismiss the artificial urgency, and let your frequency settle. Not as collapse, not as defeat, but as intentional recalibration, as strategic positioning, as drawing the bow before releasing the arrow. Because here's what happens when you rest with intention. The opportunities you've been chasing while they ran from you, they begin approaching on their own. The insights that were blocked by exhaustion, they emerge with clarity. The wealth that seemed perpetually out of reach, it finds you, because you've finally stopped repelling it. The money you've been chasing is not hiding. It's waiting for you to be still enough, clear enough, aligned enough to receive it. Wealth doesn't come to those who beg. It comes to those who are ready to host it. This is the quantum law of rest. Your value increases in stillness. Your opportunities clarify in silence. Your wealth multiplies when you stop forcing and start flowing. Subscribe to the Voss method if you're ready to master what they never taught you in business school: the art of strategic rest. The next transmission will reveal the currency of attention, how the wealthy harvest value from awareness itself while everyone else hemorrhages it for free. But that's only for those who've already begun their recalibration. Tonight you begin. Not tomorrow. Not when conditions are perfect. Tonight. Give yourself permission to rest. Not from guilt, not from collapse, but from power. From the knowledge that you are not a machine to be run into the ground. You are a quantum antenna, and you need recalibration. I am Elias Voss, and your recalibration begins now.